When Jay Dollywall called me up, and I had no idea who Jay was. I was sitting at this desk right here, and when Jay called me, he introduced himself, and he said, "A friend of yours from Toronto told me to give you a call." I said, "Who's that friend?" He said, "Your friend Dan." I said, "Yep, I know Dan. In fact, Dan is on the Zoom with us here tonight." And I said, "Jay, what can I do for you?" He said, "Steve, I want to tell you a little bit about my company, and I want to know if you'd be interested in helping me build it." I said, "Okay, Jay, what do you do?" Well, Jay started to explain to me that he invented this technology right here, this little patch. It's 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. That's how small it is. And he said, "Steve, there's nothing on this patch." He said, "There's no drugs, no stimulants, no supplements, no magnets, no stem cell, nothing." He said, "All there is a pattern that has ridges on it. And when these ridges touch your skin, the receptors in your skin will send a message to your brain to fix things. And I can help people with balance, stability, and range of motion. I can help people with pain. I can help people that can't sleep at night. I can help people focus. I can help people deal with stress. I can help people with addiction and overcoming their bad habits. I can help people burn more calories. I can help with cognitive brain decline. I can help with overall athletic performance." And you guys, I'm listening to Jay tell me this. Now, we were not on a Zoom. We were on a phone call, right? And so I am sitting here like this. My feet are up on my desk. I'm listening to Jay, and I thought to myself, this guy is wasting my time. I said, seriously? This guy is telling me that all I have to do is put this little patch on my arm and my pain's going to go away? Come on. Because I didn't understand it, right? I thought it was magic. I thought it was a trick of some sort. I didn't understand the technology. And so finally I said, "Jay, how long have you been doing this?" He said, "Well, research and development for 12 years, but we've been marketing it now for 6. And I said, "Okay." I said, "How you doing so far?" He said, "Well, today I've got 6 million customers." And I almost fell off my desk. My feet hit the floor. I leaned into the phone. I said, "Jay, you have 6 million customers that are using this technology?" I said, "What are you calling me for? You've obviously got this thing figured out." He said, "Well, we're off to a good start, but I want to take it to 1 billion people worldwide." And I said, "Jay, that's amazing." Now, as soon as Jay told me that he had 6 million people that were using this technology, I knew it was a me problem, okay? I'm the guy rolling my eyes, but 6 million people have already used this stuff. I'm the guy who has a problem, okay? So I said, "Jay, I don't get it." He said, "Well, can you come to Toronto?" I said, "Yes." So I flew up to Toronto, and I met Jay, and I met his corporate staff. And Jay said to me, he said, "Steve, I want to show you how this technology works." Now, I'm going to show you guys what Jay did to me. Okay, I'm just going to try to explain this to you. But he said, "Steve, I want to give you this little balance test." And I said, "Okay." He said, "I want you to stand up, and I want you to put your feet together, and I want you to make 2 fists, fist over fist, and just put it up by your chest." And he said, all I want you to do is just try to resist me when I push straight down on your hands. I'm like, all right. So he pushes straight down on my hands, and he knocks me off balance with no effort whatsoever. So then he said, "Okay, put your feet shoulder width apart, put your arms down to your side, lock your elbows. All I'm going to do is lift up on one of your arms and just try to maintain your balance." So I'm like, all right, I'm ready this time. He lifts up on one of my arms, and he knocks me off balance, no problem whatsoever. Well, then he said, "I want you to roll up your sleeve." So I rolled up my sleeve, and he said, "I'm going to put this Liberty patch on your arm." And once again, he said, "Steve, there's nothing on this patch. No drugs, no stimulants, no supplements, nothing. Just this pattern." So I put the patch on my arm. I rolled my sleeve back down. He said, "Let's try that balance test one more time." So I put my feet together, fist over fist. He pushes down on my hands, and he can't move me. You guys, I'm talking about he can't budge me. And I looked at him and I said, "How'd you do that? How did you do that?" Because I thought it was a trick. I thought he was playing a trick on me. He didn't even answer me. He said, "Put your arms down to your side, lock your elbows." He lifted up on one of my arms, and he couldn't move me. Guys, he couldn't move me a millimeter. And I looked at him and I said, "How did you do that?" And he goes, "Take the patch off." So I took the patch off. I laid it on his desk. We redid the balance test. He tipped me right over. I put the patch back on, redid the balance test, and he couldn't move me. I said, "Jay, what is this?" He said, it's neurotechnology. And I literally laughed out loud. I said, seriously? Now I'm going to have to come back home and talk to my friends about brain technology? Come on. I said, how does it work? And he gave me this long scientific explanation. And I said, Jay, I can't talk like that. I'm not a neuroscientist, okay? He goes, here's how you explain it. And this is what he did. He said, Steve, I want you to close your eyes and hold out your hand. So I did, just like this. And he put a pen in my hand. And he asked me, he said, what's in your hand right now? I said, it's a pen. He goes, how do you know? Your eyes are closed. How do you know? I said, because I know what a pen feels like. He said, exactly. He said, your skin is sending a message to your brain that says this is a pen. He goes, Steve, I could have put anything in your hand and you would have known what it was without looking at it. He said, I've just figured out a way to create a pattern that when it touches your skin, it sends a message to your brain to fix things. And he said, the patch that you have on your arm right now fixes balance, stability, and range of motion, and it works instantly. He said, I've got one to help people sleep. I've got one to help people deal with stress. I've got one to help people with pain. I've got one to help overcome people's bad habits, burn more calories. And he rattled off all these things. And I looked him right in the eye and I said, Jay, so what you're telling me is that you now have a drug-free solution for pain and all of those other things? He goes, yes. I said, I'm in. I said, Jay, I've been doing this for 32 years and I've never seen anything like this. I said, Jay, I was the president of a health and wellness company. I've never seen anything like this. I said, Jay, you have a product here that is going to change the world. And he said, that's why I called you. He said, I need your help. And he said, I need to build an army of people to help us take this around the world. And I said, Jay, I'll help you. I'll help you every step of the way. Now, let me share with you guys Jay himself, and I want you to listen to Jay's explanation of how this technology works. This video is 1 minute long. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. It's Jay with Superpatch. I hope everyone's having a great day. People are always asking me, Jay, how do these super patches work? So today I'm going to give you guys a high-level explanation. So first things first. Every physical, emotional, psychological function has a corresponding neurocode in our brains. And these neurocodes, which are just messages, sometimes get stuck or damaged for 1,000,001 reasons, but that leads to poor health, poor wellness, and even poor performance. So after 12.5 years of research at Superpatch, we actually decoded these messages. We decoded the neural code that can help and control the neurofunction of physical, emotional, and psychological function. So every single super patch has a pattern and ridges in it. And when these ridges come in contact with our skin, the patch uses the receptors in and on our skin to send that message to our brain. And the brain decodes it. So every single super patch is generating a very specific signal that's responsible for a physical, emotional, or psychological function. And that's how the super patches work. So all 8 super patches have their unique QR code that's sending a unique message that our brain decodes. And that's why we can help with so many wellness, performance benefits that people are seeing. So till next time, you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.
A QR code for the brain. You guys can see exactly what the pattern looks like, and we have 11 of these patches, and each one of these patterns is different, sending a different signal to our brains. Now, what people want on the wellness side is something for pain management, low energy, brain health, cognitive decline, and so on and so on and so on. On the performance side, people are looking for more power, strength, endurance, mobility, and agility, and a faster recovery time. How most people are getting these is over here through drugs and over-the-counter products and surgeries and lifestyle changes. Guys, we live in a world today where it is so acceptable to take the advice from somebody we trust. And that person says, take this drug and this drug and this drug and this drug, and you're going to have to take this drug to offset the effects of that drug. And everybody goes, okay. And we just accept that as normal. When you watch television at night and you see the commercials for the drugs that are out there, how many of you have ever said to yourself, I'd rather take the disease than all of the side effects. And nobody thinks of that. Okay? We can help people on the wellness side and on the performance side completely drug-free. It's instant and effective. It's easy to use. It's non-invasive. It's non-reactive. It's child safe. It's pregnancy safe. No diet changes, no lifestyle changes, and they are incredibly affordable. Okay? Now, I want you guys to see the superpatch technology in action. This young lady came to a meeting of ours in Alabama a few months ago, and she had no idea why she was there. And we were having a conversation very similar to this. And after the meeting, she said, I have a really hard time going up and down stairs. Will this help me? Guys, watch how the Liberty Patch helped Brandy walk up and down the stairs. It's 1 minute long. Here we go.
How many years have you had an issue going up and down the stairs?
Since I was 33, I'm 46, so you can do the math, I can't.
13 years.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Please be careful. Okay, I'm going to put the Liberty Patch on her right now. And she's going to do all of that again.
And by the way, just walking up and down this many times, usually I'm in a lot of pain too, and that's not as bad.
This is her third time doing it. There you go.
It's amazing. Utterly amazing.
It's amazing. Utterly amazing. You guys, that Liberty Patch works 100% of the time on 100% of the people that you put it on. What we have to do is get that patch on everybody that comes within 3 feet of us. And that's just the beginning, because we've got one for pain. We've got one to help people sleep. We've got one to help people deal with stress. We've got one for overall blood flow and to build your immune system. Now, this was a patch when I first heard about it, I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Well, I was at a live event in Chicago, and they had a young lady volunteer to come up on stage and do a blood test. There was a doctor on stage talking about this, and she asked for a volunteer for a blood test. So this young lady came up, and this was the result of the blood test. This is what her blood looked like. And this meant nothing to me. I looked at it and went, what does that even mean? And the doctor said, if you look, the red blood cells are not round. They're not full of oxygen. They're all stacked up on top of each other. This is going to create poor circulation. So what happened is this young lady put this Defend patch on, and they waited 30 minutes and they redid the blood test. And after 30 minutes of wearing this patch, completely drug-free, this is what her blood looked like. I actually took those 2 pictures because I was in the audience at this event, and I said, I don't even know what that means, but I want my blood to look like this as opposed to this. And I will never, ever take this patch off, okay? You can wear all of these patches at the same time because they don't short circuit one another, but look at the difference, you guys, after 30 minutes. We also have the Liberty Patch. That's the one that Brandy just demonstrated for you. The Flow Patch, this is for cognitive decline, ADHD and ADD. Victory, this is overall athletic performance. We have a lot of professional athletes, high school athletes, collegiate athletes, Olympic athletes that are using the Victory Patch. And nobody's afraid to use it because there are no drugs involved. Nobody's going to fail a drug test. Focus, we're going to help kids focus better. Not only kids, but you. We can help you focus better. Ignite, burn 25% more calories at rest. Yeah, I said it, okay? Just by wearing this patch, you can burn up to 25% more calories at rest. Kick It. This is a patch that will help you kick all of your bad habits. All right. You decide what those bad habits are. The person who invited you tonight, they can explain how that patch works a little bit. And then the Joy Patch, hope and happiness like never before. It's like start feeling your best naturally. Like here in Wisconsin, there's a lot of gray days in the wintertime. You put that patch on, boom. All of a sudden, the sun comes out. It's unbelievable. So those are the patches that we have right there. The marketing is great. The color is great. But the results are even better. Now, why the super patches, guys? I believe that these super patches are the biggest breakthrough in health and wellness performance in the past 50 years. And we have no competition. There's nobody. The reason I jumped in with both feet after all the success that I've had in this profession, is because I wasn't going to miss this. I said, wait a minute. I've never seen this in this space before. There's not a company out there that's doing this. There are companies out there who have patches, but there's supplements and vitamins and other things on those patches that seep through into your skin. We have none of that. And I want you guys to just think about this. Tell me a better solution than a drug-free solution for pain. There is none. Tell me a better solution. Tell me what's a better option than a drug-free solution to help people deal with stress and ADHD and ADD and to focus better and all these other things that we have to offer. And the answer is there isn't anything better. It's 100% drug-free. We have over 1 million people already using these patches. The company started with another technology. They put the same technology that's in the Liberty patches into socks and insoles, and that's how the company started, and that's how they had 6 million people wearing socks and insoles. But then Jay said, wait a minute, I can create this technology to do a lot more things, but I can't create a sleep sock and a stress sock and a focus sock and a calorie burning sock. So he created the super patches. And the super patches were launched on January 14th of this year. And already we've got over 1 million people wearing these every single day. Clinical studies, peer reviews, written up in medical journals. Jay says, listen, nobody has to take my word for it. Outside agencies are studying what we're doing, and they're writing about it, and they're publishing their findings in these medical journals. All the patches are made in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we are registered with the FDA. Now, that gives us instant credibility, you guys, okay? Registered with the FDA. Now, if you took just one of our patches, you'd be dealing in $1 billion industry. If we just had the pain patch, we could go after 1.6 billion people. 6 billion people have trouble sleeping at night. If we just had our sleep patch, which we call REM, but guys, we have all of these patches, which means we're playing in a $500 billion a year industry. And I know you're watching this right now, and I guarantee you this. Everybody, you guys are all thinking about people that are in pain, that have low energy and fatigue, that have trouble sleeping, that can't deal with stress, that maybe want to lose weight, or maybe they can't get around as much, or they can't focus. And all you have to do is offer them these patches. Now, if you want to get involved on the income side of what we do, because Jay said, listen, Steve, I need you to help me build an army of people. And I said, okay, let's go do it. If you go out there and share these patches with the people that you care about the most, the company will pay you. The company will pay you like a referral fee. And if you want to get involved in that part of our business, join us tonight as an associate for $50. Okay? As an associate for $50, not only are you going to get everything you need to go build a gigantic organization, but you're going to receive $75 worth of our product. Okay, you're going to get a 28-pack of the Liberty patches and a 4-pack of the pain patches called the Freedom. So for $50, you get $75 worth of our patches. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And when you enroll, you've got the opportunity to purchase our patches at a really deep discounted price. In fact, you can buy this super launch kit here. You get $360 worth of our patches for $225, or $600 worth of our patches for $375, or $1,320 worth of our patches for $600. And you can't get this after you enroll. The deal is too good. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can come in for $50, but you're going to buy the patches anyway. So at enrollment, you have a chance to get a really, really deep discounted price. So that's all I'm going to talk about as far as the income side of this. Get together with the person who invited you here tonight, and they can explain the income side of what we do. Now, I want to just kind of open this up a little bit and ask the group, because we've got, 147 people on here tonight. I just want to kind of ask the group if anybody's got any testimonials. They got some great stories they want to share with us. Liz, I see your hand high in the air. Liz, jump in here and let's share some things.
Hi, Steve. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Liz.
Really, I use a lot of the patches, and I have a whole list of things that I could share, but my most amazing thing that I have to share that I really want everybody to know about is the Defend patch, because I have some of the worst allergies that I'm almost tearing up just thinking about it. I've had such a bad allergy just to a cast that they told me I had a staph infection. And I was on so many different medications. And from that point on, I have had serious allergies to everything. Anything, my watch, my grocery bags from Walmart, anything that I have, my purses, my jewelry, everything that was on my skin, I was having bad reactions. And then on top of that, I had allergies to fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and tree nuts, and all kinds of things. Well, I started wearing that Defend patch, and I noticed my skin was not reacting as bad. And one day, out of curiosity, I was like, oh my goodness, I have that Chick-fil-A cup. It has that fresh apple in it. I'm dying. It's been years. I want apple. Every time I had apple, I had to cook it. I was so tired of cooked apple, or, I love apple pie. Who doesn't love apple pie with some ice cream and everything? But a fresh apple, I mean, who's going to turn down a fresh apple? So I ate some. I had no reaction. I mean, oh my God, who is going to put down that patch and not put it back on? I usually would have tingling down my throat and feel like needles in the back of my throat, or even little bumps all over my tongue and stuff. And there was nothing. I ate the whole cup.
Liz, when are you going to take that patch off?
Never. Are you kidding me? Guess what? I even have one more thing. Sunday at church. I've only told this to maybe one other person, to Deborah. Sunday at church, I ate a cookie. And guess what? It had tree nuts in it. I didn't know till I was almost totally done with the cookie. And I realized, I looked at the cookie and I was like, wait a minute. What is this I'm tasting? And it was a tree nut. Who can explain? Usually if I eat a tree nut, it's not like life or death, but yet I have to pop a Benadryl right away. Wow. Otherwise I'm coughing. I feel like my throat is horrible, all kinds of stuff. And I ate a cookie with a tree nut. How can you not try it? How can you not put it on your body and leave it on and never take it off? I don't ever want to be without it. I can eat an apple. I can eat apparently small amounts of tree nuts now. I mean, I can carry a grocery bag on my arm and not have it in a horrible rash after I just walk from my car to my house.
Absolutely amazing.
I can do so many things.
Liz, you go out there and tell that story over and over and over again to people. You don't need a presentation. Just go tell people your story. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight. Michael, jump in here, buddy.
Hey, Steve. Thank you. How are you?
Good, buddy. I'm good.
Congratulations to everybody for jumping on here tonight and taking your health and perhaps your financial future seriously enough to take some time. I saw a friend of mine today sign up a new customer. I got to his house. I don't see him a lot. He was asking me for some techie help with his computer, which is a very bad choice on his part to have me advise anything about tech. But we got some good stuff done. We were catching up, and he was telling me he was just prescribed by his doctor Wellbutrin for depression, anxiety, and his biggest concern was ADD. And he wasn't touching his ADD. And I this is one of the first friends I demoed when I saw this 8 or 9 months ago. And we just didn't reconnect. He kind of ghosted me a little bit. And so I said, can I give you a crazy suggestion? And I just told him my dear friend Craig, who is on a flow patch and is off 25-year prescription for Adderall. And what's he going to say to this? We went to his computer, we ordered the patches immediately. And it's I don't know. I mean, he just laid it in my lap by saying, here's what's going on in my life and here's my concerns. And I go, I got a crazy idea. You want to listen. Here it was. Amazing.
And he's going to have an amazing story.
Yeah.
He's going to have an amazing story with it, right?
He'll be on here in a month.
Yeah. Keep sharing them, buddy. Karen, jump in here. Karen Smith.
Hey, Steve.
Hi there.
Oh my gosh. I was going to share this actually with a couple of people this past week, because sometimes we don't really realize what this tech is doing for us if we're really not paying attention to the little things. So just backtracking, my biggest thing with these patches that I wear, and I have 3 on at least every single day, the Liberty, the Defend, and the Flow. And as somebody who has had multiple concussions, 7 to be exact, over the past 20 some odd years, I had symptoms like sciatica, restless leg syndrome, anxiety, depression, you name it. I was treated with a different drug for every different condition. I was on 12 drugs at one point, including narcotics, hydromorphone. Prior to that, morphine that wasn't helping with anything with pain. And I went and had my brain mapped and found out that all of those conditions that I had were actually remnants of a final diagnosis of a moderate traumatic brain injury.
Wow.
7 years ago, I quit my full-time job because I couldn't manage as a collection agent on a phone all day long, just the noise, the activity, everything that was going on. It was just too much for my brain. So I quit my job. That's when I found Vox, Superpatch, and it's been amazing. This past couple of months, somebody had asked me if I would go back to work. And I'd stayed away from a full-time job because I knew I couldn't do it. I just couldn't function and not really putting my brain to that much activity. And I pulled off last month a gala, including 140 people, including building a website, which I've never done in my life, including linking it to forms for nominations and you name it. This stuff has given me back my cognitive function. And I'll be 60 this year. And I'll tell you, I feel better now than I did 20 years ago. I am off every single drug as of 7 years ago when I found these products. And I've not put one drug in my body since, not even an Advil or a Tylenol.
Share the story, share the story, share the story. Amazing. Renee, jump in here. Come on, Renee, find the mute button. There
Hello,
you go.
hello. I got it. Lori wants to speak.
Oh, hi,
Hi,
Lori.
Steve.
Hi there.
On March 10th, I had a complete fasting blood lab done. And then on April 14th, I had another one done. I kind of twisted the doctor's arm and I got my results back last week. And I'll just go through a couple of them. My blood sugar and diabetes runs quite heavily in my family. On March 10th, it was 126. On April 14th, it went down to 111. I'm still not where I need to be, but that was 35 days of not doing anything but wearing the Defend patch. My cholesterol was at 245 on the 10th of March, 208 on the 14th of April. My non-HDL cholesterol went from 165 down to 151, and my LDL went from 146 down to 122, and my CO2 went from 32 down to 26. And I didn't come clean at the time of the appointment. They took my blood pressure, and she just said, "Oh, it's so good, Lori. I'm so impressed." And I said, I'm not taking my blood pressure medication. I haven't for over a month. And she just kind of, well, I guess it's working. What are you doing? And I said, well, I've got this patch on. And my nurse practitioner was just kind of like, oh. And then she told me her daughter, 2-year-old, doesn't sleep through the night. So she just recently got some REM patches from me. And I said, they're not going to hurt her. And you have nothing to lose. But if you can sleep and your daughter sleeps, I said, that's priceless. So I'm waiting to hear back from her. But I'm so impressed with my blood work. And it's only going to get better because I'm going to have another one done in 3 months and just see where it's at. And then I'm going to have to exercise and get in shape because I am a little out of shape. But that's a whole other thing.
That's a different story. We got a patch for that, Laura. You don't have to exercise.
No.
We got a patch for that.
What's the hand-to-mouth thing that's a problem for me?
No kidding. Hey, guys, we're just going to keep going here. Just a few more. I know we're past the 30 minutes, but these stories are amazing. Ken Brown, jump in here, buddy. Ken, you're still muted. Ken, you're still muted.
You got me now?
Now we got you, man. Go ahead.
All right. Steve, I have so many testimonies from where I've shared with so many people, but my last one that I received, there's a lady that she had bursitis in her hip from sciatica, and she was having to wear a brace, and she wore our Freedom patch, and within minutes she was able to take the brace off and walk around without the brace, which is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because I've had some sciatica myself and it can be traumatic. So That's one, but I just want to share mine. I know it's something very simple, but since I was before junior high, I always chewed my fingernails.
Yep.
And so my wife for 30 years has fussed at me about chewing my fingernails. So from time to time, she'd get on to me. And so in the process of doing some computer work and getting really stressed out, not really thinking anything about it, I was like, well, we got some piece patches here to help me out with my stress, so I'll try them. And so I started wearing them. And the next thing I know, like a week later, I realized I wasn't biting my nails anymore. And for 3 weeks now, I haven't been biting my nails. So that's pretty amazing to me. So
Yeah, for somebody who's been doing that for as long as you've been doing that, that's
Yeah.
a big deal, man. That is a
Yeah.
big deal. Gayleen, jump in here. Gayleen, you are muted. There you go.
Yes. So I'm not. Okay, I'm going to share my husband's story. It's amazing what is going on with him. I joined this company back in, let me try to think, the end of June, and did the technology on him with the socks and insoles because that's what we had at the time. My husband has used a cane. He had a stroke back in 2017, has used a cane for at least 3 or 4 years. And it was getting to the point where he was falling all the time, he didn't even know when he was falling. He would just fall and he wouldn't be able to catch himself. And I did the balance test on him and I could not believe the difference. I put those socks on his feet at the time we had socks, and he wears the Liberty patches now all the time. But the difference, he hasn't used a cane since July 1st.
Oh my gosh. It's stories like, I know, and you're telling us that, but you're living that story every single day, right? And
Yes.
you get emotional about it every single time that you tell that story. And you have the right to be emotional because it's changed.
It's changed my life.
Yeah.
My husband fell in the bathtub before he even had these patches and hit his head so bad it could have killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fallen maybe twice, but he catches himself. He knows what to do now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's changed our life.
Oh,
I don't have to look behind and see if he's on the ground. It's just amazing. I'm so thankful.
Jewel, jump in here. Let's do a couple more, guys. I know we're running a little bit late. Jewel, jump in here.
All right. So
There you go. Yep, you're good.
I was at a women's convention the last several days, and I demoed a lady that had a stroke. You could see she could barely lift her one leg, and her foot did not have movement. And just within a minute, maybe, she had almost full movement of her leg and her foot. And she was just like beaming. And she was walking around telling everybody in that whole women's expo. And pretty soon people were yelling. They were saying, "Jewel with the patches, get over here." But I was not there to give out my patches. So I kind of had to be careful because I did not have a paid booth. I was there with a friend. And so I was not supposed to be doing demos or videoing. But people kept yelling for me. And there was a lady with a migraine, and she was in her booth, but she could not be selling because she had such a terrible migraine. She was hiding in the back corner of her booth, and she says, "Jewel, could I have some patches?" So I did a demo on her, and just in a little bit, she was over there in tears thanking me for the patches. And so I've had some orders rolling in, and a little bit later, a lady with a wheelchair was over there in front of me, and she says, "Could I have some patches?" Pretty soon another one, "Could I have some patches?" "Could I have some patches? Is your name Jewel?" Anyhow, for me, the peace patch it's just changed my life. If I do not have it or wear it, my life is just night and day difference. The freedom patch, I've run out of it a couple times, and I am in bed with migraines. I can't operate. And I'm on 10 to 11 patches every day. Otherwise, I can't function. So they make a complete difference in my life. I would not be sitting here if I did not have patches, thanks to Sandra coming in my life.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful to Jay, and thankful that God made our lives our paths cross. So thank you very much.
You guys, I'm going to tell you something. I know we went a little bit long here tonight, and those of you who are guests, I want you to. I hope you're listening to this and you're feeling the emotion that these people are sharing with you guys here tonight, because this is a real deal. This thing is real. You know, we're not asking you to mix up this energy drink and tell me how you feel 30 days later. It's nothing like that. We're asking you to put this patch on and tell me how you feel in 5 seconds. You know, I've never experienced migraines, but everything that I've heard about them, I don't want one. And for Jewel to suffer through that and help somebody who's at a booth at a trade show and be able to help her in a way that she can do what she went there to do within minutes. It's like, come on, you guys, this is crazy. And I told you that at the beginning of this Zoom here tonight. What we're going to share with you is nuts. It's unbelievable. It's like, there's nothing on this darn patch, but it works. And those of you who are guests here tonight, I hope you lose a little bit of sleep thinking about the possibilities of this tonight. Because those of us who've been in for a little while now, I wake up every single day and I can't wait to go share this with somebody. You know, somebody like Karen, she's been around for 7 years and she can't wait to wake up every single morning and go tell somebody about it. And my friend Dan has been around since day one. He can't wait to wake up and go tell somebody about it. It is, when I tell you that we've got an opportunity to change the world, this is what I'm talking about. And I don't want to say either you're in or you're out, because you're going to definitely be in, because you're at least going to become a customer. I mean, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, but you guys, we need help. We need help in sharing this with the rest of the world. And if everybody on this Zoom just went out and shared it with 3 or 4 people tomorrow, and then they shared it with 3 or 4 people, who shared it with 3 or 4 people, who shared it with 3 or 4 people, do you see how fast we could cover the globe? And this is a drug-free solution for everything that we're talking about here tonight. So with that, 7:43, you guys. I kept you late tonight. 7:43. With that, those of you who are guests, please get together with the person who invited you here tonight to get all of your questions answered. And I know you're going to join us one way or the other, so let me be the first to welcome you guys to the Superpatch Company. All right, guys, let's get out of here. You guys, thank you so much for sharing. I apologize I didn't get to everybody here tonight. Save those stories, you guys. Save those stories. We'll get you definitely next Tuesday, okay? Thanks, everybody.